Alright, boys and men, let's talk manga. This is a video that has been requested of me a couple times, and that is basically to just talk about my favorite manga. This is going to be a super short video because I'm pretty torn. I don't know if I want to actually do an in-depth review of my favorite manga because I really hate spoiling manga, right? Like anime, it doesn't matter if you spoil it because if you don't watch it when it comes out, clearly you don't care. Manga, on the other hand, is a lot harder for people in the West to find unless they are told exactly what to seek out. So in this video, I'm not going to be spoiling hardly anything. It's just going to be a really quick video of me talking, basically saying what my favorite manga is. And then I wanted to talk about some honorable mentions. So on top of my absolute favorite manga, I have technically four honorable mentions that I want to just give a quick shout to because I think they're cool. Disclaimer, I have read an absurd amount of manga. I started reading manga pretty late. Like, I haven't been reading manga for that long, but I have torn through a massive amount of Japan's total manga resources. I mean, I be eating manga for breakfast, bro. That being said, I am very, very bad at reading manga, and when it comes to deciding, like, favorite series or if a series is really good, I don't think that one read through is enough. So I try and always do a couple or like 5 read throughs, depending on what the series is about and how long it is. And the thing is, I'm really bad at remembering names of things, and on top of that, sometimes a lot of manga don't even actually have properly English translated names. The names are just kanji, which obviously I'm too stupid to understand. So there are quite a few good manga that might have been on the honorable mentions list, but I just don't remember. In fact, there's this one manga that I've been wanting to reread. It's fairly new, and I haven't been able to find it. Nobody I've been asking, everyone's been like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I've never read this manga." So it's a struggle. But that being said, I just wanted to throw that out there. Disclaimer: I'm really bad at remembering manga, and so the honorable mentions list should probably have a few more on it. But that being said, I can't remember anything. So let's get the most obvious honorable mention out of the way. You know, your boy had to bring up Kengan Omega slash Kengan Ashura. Actually, I guess if we're going in order, it should be Kengan Ashura slash Omega. Now, I love fighting. I think fighting's cool in real life. I think it's fun. It's a great exercise. It's a great way to solve your problems. But in manga, in anime, it's even more fun because people can do shit they can't do in real life. Also, I'm a big fan of series that actually show good male bodies instead of just the typical anime protagonist, no muscle definition, skinny idiot. That being said, there honestly isn't a whole lot to even talk about with Kengan in general. I mean, if you like fighting, then you probably already know about the series. You probably already know it's like the current top dog in terms of just man-to-man fighting. It's got enough story beats there to keep me interested. There's stuff that I want to know about. You know, we're talking about the worm. We're talking about clones. Now, all of these elements are there, but they're not overbearing, right? Like, you can just read it for cool fights. I've said this before. You can just read the Kengan series or watch the Kengan series for cool fights, but there are some deeper story beats there that, if you're interested, it's there for you to sort of chew on and think about. Next up is a series that actually has my favorite anime movie of all time, and that's Gantz. If you have Netflix and you haven't watched Gantz, I think it's Gantz O or Gantz Zero. I've never actually learned if it is an O or a zero. But just search Gantz on Netflix. I think it'll be the only thing that comes up. Absolutely supreme anime movie. But the manga, I really enjoy it. It's no secret, I enjoy darker, more serious stuff. And Gantz is pretty fucking dark, pretty brutal. And it was one of the first mangas that I read that reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones. Not in any way in subject matter, but in the sense that you never know. I mean, characters are not permanent. There's no plot armor here. Characters, you can fall in love with them only to have them torn away from you. And it was that sort of raw emotional give and take that really drew me to Gantz back in the day. And I've reread it several times, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of pretty much anything that dude makes. I always forget his name because, again, horrible with names, but he's got some good shit going. The final honorable mention I want to bring up is Sunken Rock. And again, similar to, like, I have a soft spot for fighting and gangster type movies and series, and this has both of them. It's about gangsters who fight. It's pretty fun. It's surprisingly raunchy, which, definitely not for some people. It's probably the most adult series on this list that I will bring up. It's not the darkest, but it definitely sometimes it's borderline pornographic. So if you are going to read Sunken Rock, be advised. Now, we have arrived at the moment, right, where I finally tell you guys my favorite manga, and it is Hell's Paradise. I've said it before in videos several times, so you may have picked up on that, but if you haven't, Hell's Paradise is by far my favorite manga. I had to, for the honorable mentions list, I had to think for a minute. Kengan popped in my head because I'm reading it week to week as it comes out. But I had to think for a couple minutes of like, what are some honorable mentions? But instantly, ever since I first read Hell's Paradise, I was like, hold on a minute. This is something. Now, give me 1 minute. I remember I read the entire series up, well, however much had been released at that point. I don't remember what chapter we were on when I first encountered the series. But I read it all in one night, and I was like, wait a minute, that couldn't have been real. What I just read can't have been what my brain is telling me. I immediately reread it, and I was like, wait a minute, it was even better that time. Every single time I've reread it, I think I've reread Hell's Paradise 8 times now. Every single time I've reread it, I'm like, damn, I like this even more. I fucking love this series so much, and I don't want to spoil, like, literally anything specific for you guys, so all I will say is, it's got historical elements, right? Like, it's based in historical vibes, I guess you could say. It's at its core a historical series. But that being said, it is also very heavily tied in with dark fantasy. And one thing I will say, without again being too specific, because I literally don't want to spoil anything, is that Hell's Paradise is one of the only things I've ever encountered in my entire life, my entire art appreciating life, that I would genuinely describe as hauntingly beautiful. The way that the artist manages to make backgrounds and places where people are at both disgusting and completely repulsive, repugnant, but also strangely beautiful. And a lot of places in Hell's Paradise, despite the fact that you would die instantly if you went there, you're like, man, I kind of want to be there. I want to know what it's like there. I might end up doing a full review of Hell's Paradise one day. I've heard some rumors that it's getting an anime. I'm not super excited about that yet, but if it does get an anime, maybe we'll do like a full manga review pre-release. But there you go. There's a not super great list of my favorite manga. Let me know if you guys want me to do a similar video but of manhwa, which, if you don't know the distinction, I'm not going to explain it to you because I'm an elitist, but manhwa I am much better at remembering. So I could actually do like a ranked 1 to 5 list of manhwa. So let me know if you guys want to see that. But either way, there you go. There's my favorite manga. It's Hell's Paradise. I like Kengan, I like Gantz, and Sunken Rock has a gross blowjob scene, so be prepared for that. Thanks for watching. This video turned out way longer than I thought it would. And there's no comments video this week, obviously. I'll talk about that more in next week's comments video, why there wasn't one this week. I love you, and I will see you very, very soon with another video.